Welcome back. It's getting to be the summer selling/buying season, but is it the right time to make a change? Eddie Campos with RE/MAX is here to give us a snapshot of the real estate market right now. Eddie, always good to see you.
Yeah,
thanks for coming in. Okay, home sales are on the upswing right now.
Yes.
What's been happening?
Yeah, so we had a little bit of volatility at the beginning of the year. Home sales were up, home sales were down, but prices had consistently stayed up. So what we're seeing right now is some stability in the market, which we're hoping for. So I think with interest rates hovering in that higher 6.8, 6.9%, they did go up to about 7 last week for a minute. But according to Billy Horn over at Savage Associates, he confirmed with me today, 30-year mortgage, good credit, going to be somewhere around 6.8%.
And it's taken some time for us all to adjust to these higher numbers.
Yeah.
Because we were so used to like 2 to 3% numbers.
Right.
That's what most of us are locked in on while we had the getting good. But really, that historically, I mean, given the time of years you've been in the business, 6-7% was typical. Yeah,
as a matter of fact, historically the national average is 8%. So I think we're still in a very good position. You know, buying a home, people are always asking me, when is a good time to buy a home? Yesterday, last year, today, tomorrow. It's always a good time to buy the home. And if you look at the numbers, sale prices have continued to rise this year, and they've continued to rise for the past several years. So home sales themselves are up 7.7%, but the sale prices are up 4.9%. We've been consistently see sale prices going up and up and up. And then on top of that, the other good number is that new listings, we are up 10%. These are all year over year. So for buyers, they want to see that we have more listings on the market. That's going to make it a little bit easier for them to choose. They're not going to have to walk into the house with a contract in hand. They can maybe take some time and analyze their situation before they make a decision.
Sometimes the way the economy might be, if it's going to be volatile, you don't want to be caught in a game of musical chairs where you wait maybe a month too long and the housing market falls and the home prices fall. Consequently, the way where they all went up rapidly.
Right. And just like the stock market, housing prices go up, housing prices go down, but historically over the past 100 years, we've only had 2 major downturns in the housing market. That was the Great Recession and the Great Depression. And if you look at the finance market, they've had several years where they've seen the market prices go down. They always come back up, but much more volatile than what we've seen in housing.
The demographic of who's buying homes, interesting. Married couples, 62%.
Yep.
Unmarried couples, 6%. So couples are like almost 70% there.
Mm-hmm.
Single females, 20%. Yeah. Single males buying homes, 8%.
Yeah, and when we look at single females, single males, that's typically first-time home buyers. And you and I had kind of talked about this. You know, traditionally we've always heard that women mature faster than men. I think they see that there's value in buying a home, home ownership, and developing some financial stability for the future.
And what age are these people?
First-time home buyers are in their 30s now. You and I, my first home, I was 23.
Yeah.
So that was typical, and now they're waiting a little bit longer. They're getting more stability in their job. They're out of college. Maybe they're getting rid of some student loan debt, and they've saved some money for their down payment.
House Bill 466 is now in a law. Mm-hmm. Requires licensed real estate brokers and salespeople to sign written agreements and their clients before showing a property or making an offer on behalf of buyer.
Right.
Where did this come from?
Well, so there's a lawsuit that took place over the past couple of years, and one of the results was they want to make sure that buyers have representation and written representation with their buyer's agent. You just can't go wander off and call an agent and wander into a home to go see it. They want you to have written representation so that as a buyer, how is my agent getting paid? How does the seller's agent getting paid? So in this particular case, it's important when somebody maybe wanders into an open house. They just want to look. They're just curious, right? It's in your neighborhood. It's like, if that house ever came on the market, I think I'd like to buy it. You go in and all of a sudden it's more than you thought. I think I want to write an offer on this. You might want to have the agent in the home write that offer. Well, if they're representing the seller, you may not be getting everything that you could possibly get if you had your own
So
representation.
this is more for your protection.
Absolutely. Well, for the protection of the consumer and the protection of the agent. You know, it works both ways. So as a consumer, you lose my opinion, you lose my 20 years of experience, my experience as a homeowner, my experience on the board of directors for Northwest Ohio Realtors. There's a lot that goes into that that you may lose out on if I'm acting as a dual agent representing both sides, right? Because now I'm just there to facilitate the deal. I just want to make sure that everybody does what they're supposed to do. You're losing my opinion in that case. So it's nice to have your own representation, absolutely.
Eddie, we're out of time, but thank you so much for coming in. I
Absolutely.
always really enjoy talking with you.
Yeah, great to
Come
be
back
here.
again real soon,
Yeah,
okay?
thank you.